Okay, there we go. So, hello everyone, and welcome to my front porch. This is where we're going to be seeing each other. If you're able to come live with me on Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock, it's the all levels flow yoga. And it's nice to have a few things. We don't always use everything, but if you do have a couple of pillows and a scarf or a strap, bathrobe belt is good. I have a firmer pillow that I like to sit on, and it can also bring the floor up to me a little bit if I want to be in a lunge and have some height. And if you don't have any of these things, that's totally fine. And for tonight, thanks for coming. We're going to start lying down, and then we'll warm up and we'll get into some standing flows and get nice and warmed up, and then we'll bring it down again. So for a theme, we'll be just focusing on noticing push and pull and finding the balance between body parts that are muscles and joints that are having to have some opposition with each other to keep coming into that balancing act. So one leg goes one way and the other goes the other, or one part of a muscle group. So let's give it a shot. First, just come down and stretch yourself out on your back. You can just lie right down with your legs long, or if you do want a pillow or two underneath your thighs. And so we just start to arrive to the ground, to the weight of your body resting. Just letting the bones settle here, the back of the skull, the space between the shoulder blades, just feeling the points of contact with the ground behind the pelvis, the right and left side of the sacrum. And then the limbs stretching away from yourself, whether the legs are straight or the knees are bent. You could also have your feet wide and your knees coming into touch. And then rub the palms together. And just start to bring some of the energy, some of the goings on of the day, maybe a lot of that mental activity that's feeling a little stuck somewhere. Just bring it out through the surface of the palms, and then rest the palms. Just cup them over the eyes so you let the eyeballs settle back in the skull, softening all the muscles of the face. Good, and then rub the palms together again. Feeling the energy start to move to the surface of the hands, and then just rest the arms down again. Palms can be wherever they are, facing up or resting somewhere along the lungs. Allow the awareness to move into the hands now for whatever is here. Just noticing heat, temperature, tingling as a way of transitioning from your day, from all of the planning, all of the agendas, all of the stories. Just bring it into the body here. Notice that breath is here. Sound or hearing, awareness of hearing. All of the senses present, including the natural processes of the brain producing thoughts. And by just having this open awareness, we're opening up to that idea of balancing and just being okay with whatever is showing up. Good, and then just take a big stretch, and in a way that is wider with the legs and wider with the arms as well. So reach the arms behind on a big wide V, as well as the legs, and stretch out, and then feel the center line anchoring down behind the navel. Stretch the right toes. So point the toes and lift the right leg a little bit and reach it away on that diagonal. And then at the same time, do that with the left arm and the left fingers. Reach that arm away on a diagonal. So right away, you come into that feeling of the opposite pull. Right toes, left fingers, reach, reach, reach. Breathe in and then exhale. Let the arm and the leg just drop, and pause for some oxygen coming in, carbon dioxide going out. And then stretch the left toes away, point the toes on that diagonal, and reach the right arm away on a diagonal. Float those limbs just a little bit. Anchor back down through the center line. Breathe in. And then exhale. Just come back into that 5-pointed star and take a few clearing breaths here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Just feeling the body moving in all these different directions, but still anchored down through the center line. Bring the hands to the back of the skull. And cradle your head like it's in a little hammock here, and start to draw yourself up. Just drawing the head, using the strength of the arms more so than the neck, and bring the right knee towards the left elbow. Exhale. Stretch the right leg on that diagonal and the left elbow away as you come down. Breathe in. And then left knee towards right elbow, coming into that twist. And then stretch the left leg away on the diagonal and the right elbow also away. Let's keep going with that. Let's do 3 on each side, lengthening limbs away from each other and on this diagonal. Staying connected with the core line as you go, and bring out a little bit any of the leftovers from the day. So 1 more each side. Exhale to squeeze, and then stretch back out into that 5-pointed star. Inhale. And exhale, walk the feet in. Turn so that you're over on your left side. You could put a pillow and squeeze it between your thighs if that helps to keep your hips from moving too much here. And bring yourself down. Hold the back of the skull again in that little hammock, and bring your elbows towards each other. Let's start the Ujjayi breath. So open on the inhale, just a little bit, and then squeeze and close on the exhale. Bring the elbows closer together. So let the head, neck, and shoulders roll with this as you open. The right elbow reaches away, breathing in, and exhale, squeeze it closed. Let's do 3 more. Open and close, exhale. The Ujjayi, the wave sound of breath that we invite for our flow practice. On this last one,
Just open it up and we'll take 3 breaths here. Wiggle the left scapula a little further to the left. And then stretch the elbows away from each other. Just coming back to feeling those opposites. You're still supporting the skull. And the right hip crease is reaching away from the knees for one more inhale. Maybe looking towards the right elbow. And exhale, just come back to the starting point. And then we'll roll onto the back. Let's flip right over to the other side. I'm just coming where I can face a little bit better. So knees are over towards the right. I'm squeezing a pillow here and cradling the back of the skull. Reaching the left elbow towards the right elbow and then opening up the left elbow, left ribs. Not going to your max though. Exhale to close it off. And then inhale, stretch the left elbow away from the right elbow. Keep lengthening the knees forward, squeezing something or just imagining. Close on the exhale. The inhale spreads the collarbones away from each other. And the exhale, close it off. Let's open up and hold here, wiggling the right scapula, the upper back a little closer towards the right, stretching the elbows and feeling the movement of the breastbones apart in opposition as the navel moves down and back. Left hip crease moves away from the knee, so energy is moving in opposite directions. Last inhale, looking out over the left elbow. And exhale, come back. Inhale, start to press your way up. And just take a seat. Whatever is comfortable for you, the edge of a bed or a chair, or I'm sitting up on a firm pillow. Legs can be crossed or legs extended. Let's do a few big shoulder rolls out. Breathing in one way and exhaling the other way. Thoracic spine coming out of the shape of being perhaps protecting or from the weather or just rounding over a screen. And then reach the arms up and take the right elbow behind the head. Find that little hammock again. And then hold the right elbow with the left and draw the elbows back in space. And we'll take it into a side stretch over towards the left, keeping the right sits bone nice and heavy. And then as you come back to center, open up the arms and spread the palms. So press out through the palms. Look over towards the right. Breathing in and then exhale through center. And looking over towards the left. Come back through center. Take the right elbow over top of the left elbow. Eagle arms here, or you can give yourself a hug. Taking 3 breaths into the back of the heart. Lengthening through the tailbone, reaching up through the crown of the head and down through the tailbone. Some space along the spine for the last exhale. Let's take a bow. Good, and then release the arms. Press the palms forward and then lift straight up here. Exhale, release the arms and flip the palms behind. Bring the left elbow down. Catching hold of the left elbow with the right hand and moving the ears back in space. And we'll take it up and over towards the right. If it doesn't feel happy in the shoulders to be in this shape, then it can be just the more usual side stretch, or you can just play between these two. That's the beauty of being at home. I'm not seeing what you're doing, and nor is anybody else. Let's come back through center, breathe in, and then stretch out and press the palms away again. And this time make fists and take the fingertips down towards the floor. You could squeeze the fingertips right in towards the palms if that feels okay. And then left elbow underneath right elbow to either hug or eagle shape. And we'll take those 3 breaths here, drawing in through the belly and down as we lift up through the crown of the head. Energetic pull in 2 directions. One more inhale. Let's fold in on the exhale. Release the arms. Press the palms away again. Maybe put the other thumb on top. And then reach all the way up here. Inhale. And exhale. Open the arms up to reach them back and behind with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Bring the thumbs a little closer together. If your shoulders are agreeable to clasp the hands behind the lower back, you could take 3 breaths there, spreading again the collarbones in 2 directions. Or just reach the palms back and up with the thumbs coming towards each other. One more inhale. Exhale. Good. Let's come off the seat and take it over to hands and knees. It's a little chilly on my front porch, so I've been keeping my socks on, but we're going to get warmed up. So socks off is best for this type of practice, at least while we're moving up and down and doing some downward dogs. And you can always, instead of a downward dog pose, you can take this extended child's pose or a child's pose sitting right back towards the heels, or even a dolphin pose, which I'll show you in a little bit. Well, let's come up on the fingertips to get a little more height. And if you do have blocks at home, that's always great. Press into the fingertips and lift the navel up and back as the crown of the head drops down, and just feel this nice curve of the spine. Open and close the mouth, move the jaw around. Good, and then let the breastbone move forward and away from the tailbone. Keep a little tone in the belly, and then exhale here. Coming back through cat. Inhale, forward to cow, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, take it back through cat. And one more time, breathing in. And breathing out. Walk the hands a little further away, so you're more in a knee down plank or a long table. And then just start to move the hips around. You can change the position of the palms. You can play with the palms moving out from each other, the fingers moving away as you do these circles. And try moving the fingers to face each other as you continue to circle or snake around, shifting the weight forward and back. Getting into all the crooks and crannies of your spine. Sit back towards the heels. Just curl the toes under before we do that. And position the palms so that they're face down. They can be back beside you. It's a little more tougher if they're further in front of you. And to bend the elbows a little bit. So wherever you can find a bit of stretch in the wrists, start to peel the palms back and wiggle the thumbs. And slowly peel all the finger bases up, sitting back on the heels, and give a few flicks, some musical interlude, shaking things off. Bring the palms together and do a few circles or any type of loops that you like. And then come off of the feet, wrap them out a little bit. And we'll bring the palms now, wrists right underneath the shoulders. Curl the toes under and lift the hips an inch or so. Let's take 5 breaths here. Lifting the underside of the body, so we're working against gravity. Lifting the underside body, containing it into the back body. That's 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring the hips up and back and into downward dog. A shorter downward dog to start. And the knees could be quite bent. Still traction out the spine. Bending deeply through the right knee and letting the left heel drop. And look underneath your left arm. Exhale. Inhale, switch, and then exhale, left knee drop, or left knee bends and right heel drops. Looking to the right. Let's go a couple times from side to side, pressing into the palms as the hip creases move away. And then shift forward to plank pose. And then up and back to downward dog. So you'll have to adjust your hands. Shifting forward, so the hands will have to move a little further forward so the shoulders can come back over the wrists. And then hips lift up and back like a hinge. Crown of the head lengthens away from the tailbone, so energy is moving in 2 directions, that balance, that push and pull. Inhale, forward to plank. And exhale, take it back. This time, shift it forward to plank. And knees up or down. We'll take 5 breaths. Exhaling 4. Reaching the crown of the head forward. 3. Pressing back through the heels if your knees are lifted for 2. And 1. Dropping the knees and narrow the elbows as you come all the way down. Walk the legs a little bit longer and walk the hands forward. So come forward with the arms, and they could be wider apart if your shoulders are tight, no problem at all. And stretch the left leg back and the right arm forward. So lift the left leg a little bit from the thigh, from the attachment point, the psoas, and then bring the right hand down and the left toes down. Your forehead could be on the ground or it can be floating a little bit. Lift the right leg, reach it back, and the left fingers forward. Exhale, lower. Let's do that 2 more times each side, just like we did on our back, moving on a diagonal. Opposite limbs, still connected through the center line, but lengthening away from each other, sort of swimming it out. Good, and let that go. Slide the hands back now. More or less in line with the shoulders, with the elbows lifted. And press the tops of the feet and weave it through into a low cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale, anchored through the front of the pelvis as the chest moves forward, and exhale. Same thing as you lower. 1 more time, breathe in. Exhale, lower, slide the hands back, press up and back. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. You can bend the knees, or you can be right on your knees with the hands forward in extended child or puppy pose. Let's shift back to plank. Tap the knees down, exhale. Lower all the way down. Fingertips in line with the shoulders for a cobra. Exhale to lower, or you can go back to the wider, loop the shoulders and lift. Exhale, lower. Let's all do that. Let's just move the hands wide again and take it through. And drop the left shoulder and have a look over to the right. Inhale, center, right shoulder drops and looking to the left. 1 more breath, inhale, center, and exhale, lower. Slide the hands back, press up and back. Downward dog for 3. Pressing away from the palms for 2. Grounding down through the heels, even if they're lifted. And then come back through to plank pose. Inhale. Tap the knees down. Exhale to lower. Peel the heart through in a cobra or any back bend. You could move the hands back a little further and draw the chest through. If the knees are lifted, it's upward facing dog. Exhale back and through to your resting pose, child's pose, or downward facing dog for 3. 2, noticing the pace of breath, the temperature changes, anything that comes across the awareness, sound. Let's come back to hands and knees now. And we'll step the right leg out to the side, coming into a gate pose. Take a breath in and let the belly drop. And then exhale to peel it into a cat. And bring the hands to the hips and lift yourself up. And then reach the arms up here. Left hand comes down and catch the elbow. So the same thing that we did at the beginning, or you can take the side stretch in that manner with the left arm reaching up. Either one to exhale and then come back to center. Inhale. Ground down through the right outer foot on the exhale. Inhale, lift it up. One more time. Exhale, lifting under the right thigh. And then come back to center. Spread the arms. Breathing in and start to reach it over to the left in opposition to that right foot, anchored down. And then tip it down. Doesn't matter if the hand comes to the floor, it doesn't have to. You could have something underneath it or just be floating here, feeling the work of the front and back body coming towards each other as the energy moves in a variety of directions. Inhale back through center and one more time, take it into the side stretch. Good, exhale, bring the fingertips back down. Let's press into a cat, exhale. And then inhale, draw the chest through to cow. Slide the right knee in. Walk the hands a little forward, downward dog or child's pose for 3. Using this time just to return to breath for 2. And 1, back to hands and knees. Coming to the fingertips and stepping the left leg out to the side. Wave it through into cow. And exhale into cat. So the left heel is lining up with the right knee. You start to bring the hands up. And then reach both arms up here. Inhale, bring the right hand down and catch the elbow. And then exhale into the side stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, or it could be the both arms long. One more time, come up. And exhale. Back through center, ground through the outer left foot and press the arms away. And start to reach out with the right fingers, continuing to be present in that left foot. And here you can tip it down, or you can just keep the left hand on the hip. My hand isn't coming all the way down, so lots of core here. Last inhale. Exhale. Open it up one more time, the side stretch. Good, and then come back to center, bring the fingertips down. Press it into a cat, round it out. And then inhale, step the knees together. Palms press, toes curl under, downward facing dog. And let's bring the big toes together and take the right leg up and back. Three-legged dog. You go ahead and open the hip. The leg can be straight or the knee can bend. In opposition to the lengthening away with the right toes. Extra press forward through the right palm. Last inhale. Bring the right knee towards the chest and keep the hips really high lifted. Knee towards the nose and looking forward. With that height, step the right foot up and bring the back knee down. Low lunge for an inhale. And then exhale, take the hips back. Draw the toes towards the face. Shift forward, inhale. And exhale. Right hip crease draws away from the right heel. One more time, come through, breathe in. And exhale to breathe out. And then shift forward, bring the hands on the inside of the right foot and walk the hands over towards the left. So parallel the feet now. Take the fingers way out in space, bend the knees quite a bit. Lift the belly, lift the tailbone away from the fingertips as the arms crawl forward, tractioning out through the neck. And stay for a couple breaths here or bend through the left knee and let the right leg straighten. And crawling the hands a little further towards the right as you do that. And come back through center. Walk the hands back around towards the right foot and parallel that right foot with the long edge of your mat. So low lunge here. And press the palms. Hug the left thigh. See if you can press so much and lift away from the floor that that leg can slide back to plank pose. You can always take a break and just come into child's pose. Otherwise, knees down, tapping down with the exhale to lower. Back bend of your choice, cobra or gecko or upward facing dog. Pressing up and back. Let's come into child's pose. And take 3 breaths here. That's 1. Hang them up on the fingertips and stretch out the wrists for 2. And 3. Let's take it back to table. Before we do the other side, I'll just show a dolphin pose. So if you prefer, it's a little more strength in the shoulders. Alternative to child's pose or downward dog. So the elbows come to the floor, clasping the hands together and curling the toes under. And then lifting the hips up from here. So you can try with the knees really deeply bent just to get that. So the head doesn't come to the floor. And really push away from the forearms. So in opposition to all of that, to balance it out, the hip creases are lifting up and back. And from there, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together and actively moving them away from the ears. 1 more inhale. And exhale, knees come down. Let's take another child's pose. You can give your hands a break if you want and have them come around to the sides of your body and make fists. Letting the forehead drop for 3, 2, and 1. Tabletop on the inhale. Toes curl under, exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. Pressing away from the palms, big toes step together. And the left leg reaches up and back. 3-legged dog. You can have a little bend in the right knee. And then open up that hip. Maybe bend the left knee. In opposition, pressing away from the left palm. Reaching the left knee away from the hands. Stretch that leg out and level the hips again. Breathe in. Exhale the left knee towards the chest and lift the hips a little higher. Start to shift your weight forward, look forward, and then step or help that foot move up. And so low lunge, we're tapping the back knee down. Breathing in. Toes can stay curled under or the top of the foot can be down. And if so, then pull energetically forward with the top of the right foot. Exhale, take the left hip crease back. Left hip crease moves away from the breastbone. Exhale, sinking in. Breathing in here, and then exhale to take it back. Inhale, shift forward. And exhale, take it back. Good, and then shift forward this time. Curl the back toes under, pick up the back knee for low lunge. I'm just gonna face so it'll work a little better for the audience here. Walking the hands over towards the right now and keep going. So parallel the feet, so you're facing the side again. Walking the fingertips forward, and then go ahead and start to sink the chest. Lift the hip creases up and back and draw the crown of the head forward. Again, you could bend the knees to get some more of that. Either staying here for a few or go for a deep bend of the right knee and straighten out the left leg. So you're lifting under the left thigh. Crawl the hands a little further to the left. Lots of side body stretch tonight. Inhale through center, lift the heart, and then exhale, walk the hands back around to face the left foot. Low lunge here. Shift the weight forward, press into the palms, right out to the fingertips. So not all the weight goes into the wrists. And then stepping back to plank. Shifting forward to lower, knees up or down. Your back bend on the inhale. And exhale, lower. Pressing up and back, child's pose or dolphin. Or downward facing dog for 3, 2, and 1. From downward facing dog, high on the tiptoes and take about 5 slow steps up towards the front. Lengthen halfway, breathe in, and exhale, let it go. Press into the feet and come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, trace the center line. Let's move right into Surya Namaskar. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway lengthen, breathe in. Bend the knees, exhale, plant the palms, step the left leg back, and step the right leg back. Shift forward to knees, lower, all in one piece. Inhale to cobra, any variation, and exhale, lower. Press up and back through table, toes curl under, downward facing dog. We'll just take 3 breaths here. It's 1, 2, and 3. High on the tiptoes, walk, step, or bend the knees and hop forward. Lengthening halfway. And folding here. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale to pause. Let's release the arms for a moment and see what's here. Feet hips distance apart and equal standing. Energy moving in 2 directions. Up towards the sky, down towards the core of the earth, along the spine. And let's add on. Inhale, reaching up and fold, exhale. Halfway lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees. Let's go back with the right foot first this time. This is your practice, so if there's anything that you prefer to skip through or a change, adapt, coming through the vinyasa and pressing up and back. Downward dog for 3, 2, and 1. Let's have the big toes together again. Reach the right leg up and back and open up the hip. And then square the hip up again. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw the knee towards the chest. Shifting forward to step up into lunge, and we'll keep the back knee lifted this time. Reaching back through the arms to hug the hips into center, and then coming all the way up to a high lunge. Having a bend at the back knee, if that helps to keep the low back a little bit wider. Let's exhale to cactus the arms and spread across the breastbone for 2. And 1. Straighten both legs and reach the arms up. And then pivot the back heel, dropping the arms and bending the front knee, warrior 2. Front knee reaches away in opposition to the back heel. Fingers spread away from each other. Let's flip the palms up. And exhale, flipping the palms down, looking out over the right fingertips, breathing in. And exhale. Start to reach it forward and drop the right elbow to rest lightly on the right inner thigh. Contract the outer thigh to keep the right knee moving forward. Reach back through the left fingers. Right knee, right inner thigh reaching away from left palm, left heel. And then just wash the wall in front of you. A few sweeps with that top arm. 2 more. Just pause and stretch the left fingers away from the left heel. Inhale, come back through center and straighten the front leg and open up reverse Trikonasana. Breathing in. Exhale, step it just a little bit closer. And we'll move right into triangle pose, lengthening out. Try to refrain from bowing at all. So it doesn't matter how low you come. And dropping the right arm. Using the leverage of the right shin a little bit to press the back of the hand there. This top arm can be lifted or at the hip or wrapping around to catch the right hip crease. Chest rolls towards the ceiling. Inhale, come up and parallel the feet to face the side. Let's fly the arms open and around to either just press into the low back and drop the tailbone down. That encouragement, squeeze the elbows towards each other. Or you can catch the hands behind the back. If your shoulders are really tight, I always recommend having a strap or something, a sock. Feels really nice. From there, we'll fold halfway. And then to wherever you like, using some gravity here and letting the arms possibly move away from the back and up towards the ceiling. Crown of the head moving away from the fingers. Draw the chest through to come up, inhale. And exhale, turn the toes out. We'll start to drop it down, pressing the palms against the thighs, so that energy of opposites, moving the thighs, contracting the outer thighs and pressing. Inner thighs open. See if you can do that without the hands. So keep the inner thighs pressing open as the outer thighs
contract and shorten. Good. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale here. Parallel the feet again. Turn the right toes to face forward. Come back through warrior two. And then a high lunge, inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back down. You can step back through downward dog. Rest here or in child's pose, or if you're feeling energetic or needing some more heat, then take it through the vinyasa, coming forward to plank. Lowering to the belly, exhale. Inhale, your back bend. And then exhale. Downward dog. Big toes together, left leg lifts and hip opens. Good, straighten that leg out again. Reaching it away from the hips and then knee to nose, exhale. Seat lifts high, chest lifts high to step that foot up. And then come all the way up into a high lunge, bending the back knee. Just getting that into place, and then if you can straighten the back leg, no problem. One more inhale here. And exhale, bring the arms into cactus. Straighten both legs as you inhale, a little bit of balance. And then exhale to open it up, setting up for warrior two to bend the front knee. Stretching out through the fingertips and spreading across the collarbones. Right knee moves away from right heel. Start to reach it forward and rest that elbow. Finding Parsvakonasana or side angle pose. Cleaning the wall at the side, a few movements of that top arm around. Maybe follow with the gaze. That arm can reach back or straight up, or fingertips forward, reaching away from the right heel. Inhale, come back through warrior two. Make a pit stop there. And then straighten the front leg, reverse Trikonasana, inhale. Exhale, come back to a little shorter stance with the legs. Moving into triangle pose to lengthen. And then to tip. The arms, shoulders can stack, or the right hand can come to the lower back or around to the hip crease. The breastbone moving away from the right hip crease. Right hip crease wrapping down towards the floor as the gaze moves up. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then parallel the feet to face the side. Fly the arms open. Use your strap or clasp your hands. Exhale halfway. And just continuing down to where it's good for you. Shaking out the head. Let's bend the knees a little bit to curl the spine up. Turn the toes out. And bring the hands down, and this time shift from side to side. Let your head be supported by your shoulders. So just let it be right in your hands. I think we've had enough of all the standing and moving, so let's come back up on the in. Bring the feet back together. And you could have your cushion or something behind you, just to come down into a squat that's might have some support. Moving the arms inside the thighs this time, a little closer to the ground. If you're right down, you don't need the cushion, that's fine.
We can do the same thing here. We can squeeze the legs and arms against each other just to get that going. And then try not having the arms. So just not using them at all, but same action. Squeezing the outer thighs, lengthening the inner thighs. And let that go, draw the belly, let your spine round, crawl the fingers forward. And then as you move whatever it is out from underneath you, you can still keep it something there, not too much height, just so you can extend your legs away from each other. Pick up your seat just so you can shift forward to the front of your sits bones and keep the legs active, the arms behind. Or walk the hands forward. Just getting creative with if you do have something to bring the floor up towards you or bring it right into your center line. Let go of some effort here, balancing the energy and the effort and ease, effortless energy. Dropping down through the sits bones to lengthen through the spine to sit more upright again. And leaning back, bending the knees and dropping the knees over to one side. And then back through center and over to the other side. Inhale, knees over. And then back to the first side. And bring your back knee close to your front foot as you walk around, coming up on the fingertips and looking over top of that shoulder. Just 3 breaths here, just allowing the breath to move through the organs a little bit differently. And then come back through center and shift. So the knees come over to the second side. The back knee can move in quite close or even touching the front heel. Shift the hip that's down back a little bit. And then walk the hands around or keep one hand on the thigh. Looking over the shoulder and just wringing out this cloth here. It's 1, 2, 3. Roll back through center. Let's just lean to the back of the sits bones. Have the feet grounded to start as you roll down a little bit. Come on up on the inhale and then exhale. C-curve the lower back. You could hold on to your thighs. Inhale and exhale. One more time, breathing in. And rolling it all the way down. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Exhale, squeeze Uttanasana. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. Last time, squeeze, exhale. Release, inhale. Let's take the legs towards the ceiling and shake them loosely. And then the arms as well, so jiggle and wiggle. The lively bug that's flipped on its back. Deep breath in through the nose. Shake, shake, shake. Exhale through the mouth. Let it go here. Let the knees fall in to touch and bring the hands to the lower belly. Reconnect with the diaphragm. Allowing the breath to just breathe. not directing, letting go of the ujjayi. If there's any final poses that you'd like to do, a bridge or a supported bridge, or if you have a chair or something that you can put your legs up on for an inversion as we move into final rest shavasana. Blankets, whatever you need to be cozy and maximize this rest and digest. So we started a little bit late, so we'll go a couple minutes past the hour as well, if that's okay. Letting the eyes close, the back body settle into the ground. Releasing through the jaw. The belly. All of the organs in the front body dropping into the back body. If you find that there's a lot of mental activity and agitation, you might choose an anchor. It might be the breath or sound or just the awareness of the body resting here, something to come back to and focus the attention. There's no effort or no goal to be rigid or hold anything. Just allowing yourself to have this experience of being present. Turning awareness to body, to ground, to an anchor, breath or sound. And you can continue to rest here for longer. Just taking a moment to acknowledge the community that we have here, the Boulevard Club, practicing together. Extending well wishes to each other. May you be safe. May you be well. May you be happy. And may we carry the merits of our practice beyond our mats and home studios,
to in some way benefit others in the rest of this evening, day, week. Take care, everyone. Namaste.